Come friend, now lend me an ear, for a tale of Victor the Weird. He went on an adventure with he, him, and himself, and also his mighty fine beard. Now gather round, I'll tell you about this mighty beast. He may look as human, as mere as you, friend, but soon your eyes will feast upon this marvelous creature with many body parts. His one shirt may fool you, but what if I told you his chest had 4 red hearts? One mouth but 1,000 voices, one mind and limited choices. 2 handsome dice, 2 handsome dice. The audience rejoices. He's going to play D&D with him, himself, and he. Those are his pronouns, it's really profound. It's time for D&Me, featuring Victor and Victor and Victor, and Victor and Victor and Victor, and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor. One knows who knows how many repeats. So come and sit down in an empty seat. It's time for D&Me. 2 eyes, 4 cheeks, 2 souls on his feet, 2 hands for winning and foes to defeat, 1 tongue, 2 lips through which to speak, but just one but.
Hello, I'm Victor Rivera, and welcome to D&Me, where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself, and welcome to episode 19. How exciting! The theme song is produced and performed by Bradley Owens. You can find them at on Instagram at Bradley Owens, Bread L-E-Y Ovens. And happy December, or DM December, or Dungeon Master December. Hello! Today is the 15th, I think, which means that my 12 days of December has come and gone. So, let's join together to sing. It's a little Chewbacca hat. Oh, that matches with my Sith shirt. I do not endorse the Sith. But let's sing the 12 Days of December. I'm going to throw the lyrics right here. So, 1, 2, 3. On the 12th day of December, my true love gave to D&Me 12 tipsy boozes, 11 onyx trophies, 10 NPCs, 9 sewer baddies, 8 half-orc hit points, 7 shops and storefronts, 6 podcast apps now.
5 toot toot sings. 5 toot toot sings.
5 toot 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 sings. 5 toot toot sings. 5 toot toot sings. 5 sings. 4 characters, 3 were-rats, 2 vulture bros, and 1 man playing D&D. Yay! Boop. Thank you so much, y'all. That was fun to have on my D&Medias, the 12 days of December. And currently I'm doing the rest, the 24 days, an advent calendar of the advent calendar that I Sharpied. So look on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and you'll find that there. So happy holidays and happy New Year, but we have a whole 2 more episodes to get through before all that. So let's see. Thank you, Tatum Spearman, for writing the harmonies for 5 Toot Toot Sings. So thank you very much again. And now we are getting to a section that I like to call thanks. So I take a big old chunk of time to thank one of my friends who helped me in my D&Me adventure. So thank you this time to Joe Watson, one of my friends from college. He actually sent me my very first campaign guide, D&D Curse of Strahd, which is a very popular, famous vampire goth horror, and it's amazing. And as I was coming up with D&Me, then I was actually reading this, and this was going to be my first adventure. But as we got closer to launch day for D&Me, I read more and more of it, and it's very scary and very creepy. And for my first adventure, I wanted something not as terrifying and grotesque. So he sent me this, though, and this was the first time I really got to read what a D&D adventure was like in a campaign guide. So that was amazing. Thank you, Joe. And then he also, let's see, I went to play D&D with his lovely wife and his friends, and when I got there, he was like, so we kind of play a family of wild magic sorcerer birds. So Aarakocra, you choose a bird, and we can make an Aarakocra out of it. And because there's only one Aarakocra per each bird. So there's like Falconeer and Owlneer and Raveneer and stuff. So I was like, you know what? Flamingo. So he was like, that's amazing. Yes, make a character. And then, so this is Flamingoneer. So he made me a mini, and then his lovely wife helped paint it and assemble it. So that's Flamingoneer. So that's amazing. And then when I arrived, he was like, oh, by the way, here you go. So this man, a jack of all trades, a Joe of all trades, well, I did the wrong way. So this jack of all trades, this Joe of all trades, 3D printed me a Thor's hammer. So he 3D printed because I cosplay as Fat Thor from Avengers Endgame. So he 3D printed me a Thor's hammer. And the reason you heard a very loud noise was because it opens up like that, and that's where all of the dice were. But now they're all over my desk, but that's fine. He got me some wild magic sorcerer dice that we played, and then he got me 2 sets of pink polyhedrals, and I've played with one of them before, but this is for Flamingoneer. Oops. And then also, what's that? There still sounds something like, oh, inside the handle is tiny little baby dice. Oh, dear. This is why we rehearse, folks. Tiny little baby dice. So, okay, good. So some of them are green, which is why it's invisible right now. But tiny little baby dice. And then it is stored in the handle, and for more surprises, then the actual head of Mjolnir is actually a dice tower. So let's see if I can do this. There's the top hole and there's the bottom hole. So, and then, see how cool? Oh, was any of that seen? That's so cool. So thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe Watson. You're a great friend. And so in honor of someone getting me dice, then I will use these dice for tonight's episode. Episode 19's dice are sponsored by Joe Watson. So thank you very much, Joe. I will actually roll 6d8 right now, for no reason whatsoever. 1, 2, and then the tiny little baby ones. 1, 2, and of course I'll use the dice tower. I can't see what the results are. Whoa, perfect. So one's an 8 and one's a 7. And then these 2. And so that was 4. And then 2 more. Two and a 6. That worked out very well. 2 and a 6. Fabulous. So, thank you for all of that. That was D&Me thanks for today. I wanted to mention that Wizards of the Coast owns both Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering. So, they have done the impossible, the amazing. They married the both together. So there are now Dungeons & Dragons Magic the Gathering cards out now, and I have a whole stack of them. So they're really great. I just love collecting cards for the art. I have a lot of Pokemon cards, but my favorites are the Harry Potter trading card game. So I still have a bunch from the original set and Chamber of Secrets and what's the other? I had this written down. Harry Potter trading cards, and then the Quidditch World Cup set that I still need. So if you have money burning in your pocket. But I love these Magic the Gathering cards. My friend Peter loves Magic the Gathering. And some of my favorites are these little adventure ones. So you come to a river. You find the villain's lair. You see a guard approach. And then there, of course, like the famous items and monsters and like classes and stuff. So that was really cool, and I just wanted to show it to you. So Wizards of the Coast, please send me more. And Dungeons & Dragons money, please. All right. Now getting to the knit and grit. Last episode 18, Queso Quest, which was great, and I put it on Twitter, and I put it on my link tree. Whoopsh. So if you want to go download it. It's one-page RPG, so you can throw it up and then have as much fun as you want, and reach out to me, tell me what happened, and I love those adventures. But DN Revision, I said that Waddles was 6 inches, and then it was sounding more and more inappropriate, so I just wanted, and then I incorrectly corrected myself by saying that he was 12 inches tall. But no, Waddles is 6 inches tall. Period. Excellent. And then DN Research after the fact, I was like, okay, I couldn't describe the exact type of owl that I wanted Calliope to be. And I was like, Tawny? No, Tawny's not right. Burrowing? Very close. But burrowing, I don't know if they fly. I didn't do that research. But I found out which owl I wanted. Whoosh. Look at this little guy. I Googled smallest owl, and it's not the smallest owl, but it's pretty close. Look at the little cute little thing. So this is a northern saw-wheat owl, W-H-E-T, whet, saw-whet owl. And I prepare Wednesday all day leading up to this adventure, or that night's episode. And I could have easily spent hours looking on Google for northern saw-whet owl and get lost in how cute they are, because they're adorable. So, yes. And then I was curious also, get those cute owls out here. I was also curious on the amounts of permutations and / or combinations for Queso Quest. So if you roll without duplicates, without rolling the same number, then you get 2,298,240 different ways to play Queso Quest. And then if you do play with duplicates, it's only 3,072,000. So that's amazing. I love it. And then last little bit of DN Research after the fact. I am part of the movie industry, the showbiz. And there is an inside joke from the crew that actors don't know the camera movements, and so they default just to say pan for everything. So if the camera moves, then actors go, just pan the camera over here, even though that's not exactly right. So in order to educate my audience and to suck up to my crew members, these are the camera movements. So we're going to just learn them real quick. So pan down at the bottom left-hand corner, so right over here, is when the axis of the camera like twists from left to right and back. So that's what that is. The camera doesn't move, it doesn't move in space, but it like pivots. So that's what a pan is. A roll is where a camera stays, it pivots also, but like it dips, the whole thing turns to the left, like tilts its head, rolling back and forth, kind of like you do a somersault. That's kind of what it is. somersault, cartwheel. There we go. And then a tilt, what I incorrectly said, is the camera stays in space, but it moves up and down. Like it tilts its head up and down. That's what a tilt is. And then a pedestal, dolly, and a truck, these are where the camera does move in space. So a dolly staying on the same horizontal plane moves forward and then backwards. So that's dolly. And if you've ever seen on sets, they lay out these like train tracks. So that's what a dolly is. And then a truck is where the camera then instead moves to the left or to the right through space. And then a pedestal, as if you put it on a pedestal, it goes vertically on that axis. So up and down. So I'm going to try and remember that. I have visual aid so I can help describe D&Me accurately. So excellent. Oh, that's it. Well, great. So D&, recap. Last episode, episode 18, was Queso Quest, where Waddles, Tipsy's forest gnome rogue's rat, went on his own adventure and met up with... He played Queso Quest, which is a one-page RPG that I wrote. So you needed to get 3 allies to get 2 items to fight 1 baddie. So the 3 allies were Nutso, the daredevil squirrel, Calliope, the northern Sawwhet owl, who was afraid of heights, and then Dash, a box turtle with haste spells. And they got 2 items, which was a little plastic sword and a bag of holding doggy bag, and they went to find cheese, which happened to be in Thingama's clockwork store called whatchamacallit, and they had to fight not only Thingama, the half-elf tinkerer / artificer, but they had to fight a rat robot inside the safe / refrigerator, and it was very Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and it was awesome. And then they all got the cheese, and got away safely, and then they were just eating cheese outside the Troll Skull Manor, because that's adorable, and that's what this show is. Not heart-pounding drama and action. Well, a little bit, but fun. Dope. All right. Let me put that over. Well, I can actually I'll just put it out of the way right now. So that was Waddles, but what are Tipsy, Onyx, Rock, and Toot Toot doing? They woke up from doing lots of side quests and going to shops and doing individual adventures for Shay 17, which was yesterday in game. So today is Shay 18, and Tipsy was woken up by Toot Toot gumming in his room, and then Tipsy was resuming to read the manual of quickness of action, which will increase his dexterity and make him faster. Then Toot Toot was going around the Troll Skull Manor, which is their like little property that they have been rewarded, and Rock was learning spells. And there we go. So to resume with that, Rock sits down and goes, okay, so I get to learn spells now. And then he goes through all his notes. And then we cut to Waddles running around. And then you see Toot Toot kind of potting throughout some of the stories of Troll Skull Manor, which... Troll Skull Manor! I scanned it so that my Twitch and YouTube audience can see this is the Troll Skull Manor. So... there we go. Now I can talk accurately so y'all can see it instead of me going, oh, I do. So, Troll Skull Manor. Toot Toot is now walking through the 2nd and 3rd floor, and he's walking around trying to gather his thoughts for the upcoming day, and then he... and then he almost steps on Waddles with having an interaction with him beforehand where he let Waddles out of the room. No. That was something that could have happened, but Toot Toot almost stepped on him a second time today, and he goes, oh, hello, Waddles. And then Waddles climbs up the stairs quickly, and Toot Toot goes, oh, okay, goodbye, Waddles. And then, there we go. Then Waddles disappears out of sight, and then a moment later, Leaf, the half-elf ghost of the Troll Skull Manor, swoops down from the attic stairs and comes up to Toot Toot with an arm spilling over full of pages. And Toot Toot goes, oh, hello, Leaf. How can I help you? And Leaf excitedly comes at Toot Toot and nods towards his armful of paper sticking out with a lot of fine details and print on it. And they look like blueprints and lots of like scratchings, marginalia, which are little notes in the margins. And Toot Toot goes, "Oh, you've been busy. That's right. You don't sleep. I'm sorry about that. Are these plans for Trollskull Manor?" And then Leaf goes, nodding. "Well, excellent. Tell me about some of these. Let's go. Do you want to go downstairs?" Leaf. All right. Yes, let's go downstairs. And then Leaf and Toot Toot go downstairs, where Toot Toot has amended some of the chairs and tables, and so they kind of sit down at one, and Leaf puts all his papers down and then rearranges them into like the blueprints, very much like this, but just with scribblings all over, taking every square centimeter of these pieces of parchment up. It looks like we need to get you more paper. And then trotting downstairs, equally enthusiastic over writings, then Rock comes down. I figured it out! I know even more spells. So last night I demonstrated mage armor and shield, and I learned witch bolt, which I didn't want to demonstrate because, well, I almost died last night, so I could have dealt Onyx some damage back. However, I figured out what other spells I wanted. And then Toot Toot goes, "Oh, well, I have as well. Look at us getting older and wiser. Look what Leaf did." And then Toot Toot gestures towards the table full of pages, and then Leaf is pointing, and you can see a little frustration grow within Leaf, where he points and and Toot Toot, Leaf, I am sorry, I don't do ghosts speak common? I mean, obviously they don't, but do they speak language? Rock, could you help? Do you comprehend languages? And Leaf, sharply frustrated and quickly, impatiently shakes his head back and forth. He pans his head back and forth. Hey, so that's the one time Pan was the first immediate right choice. So Rock goes, "Actually, I've been thinking about this. I think I've come up with a solution, but I would like the other boys to attend so that I could give another demonstration. This time, not almost lethally. So, gentlemen, Tipsy, Onyx!" And then you hear of Onyx heavy footfalls, even from 2 stories down. Because, Onyx is on the 3rd floor and they're on the 1st, but you can hear that. And then Tipsy from the 2nd floor goes, "What?" Could you come down here? We're having an adventure party meeting. What? We need to come up with a name for ourselves. Did it take 19 episodes for Victor to realize that? We need to come up with a cool name. And Toot Toot goes, "Ooh, I'm pretty good with coming up with clever things, and I'm sure that Tipsy is as well. I'm busy reading this stupid, dumb book. But that..." Rock yells upstairs. "That really, really does my heart good of you reading, not necessarily calling it a stupid, dumb book, but if you could come, I have an educational opportunity for you." "Oh my God, even more learning." "Yes, but this one will help out the whole group and Leaf too. Please." And then you hear little footfalls. As both Tipsy and Onyx come downstairs, Tipsy is nose deep in this large tome and going, "All right, let's make this quick. I have, oh God, so many more hours to read." Excellent. If you could all sit down, please. Pull up chairs, and so I've been thinking about the Leaf conundrum of him unfortunately not being able to communicate with us, as I'm sure. And then Rock looks down at the papers. Your penmanship is quite enthusiastic on these pieces of paper. To the point of illegibility. Oh no, my intellectual one can't say unintelligent. Oh no, I don't know the word, but I cannot read some of this, and I don't want you to have to worry about writing the whole time for the rest of our working relationship. I want you to be able to communicate. So, gentlemen, at my university, we learn different languages. For example, I know Common, of course, Dwarven, and then he gestures at Onyx, Orc, and then he gestures at himself, and then Elvish, and then Onyx interrupts. I know Elvish too. Onyx, you know Elvish? Yeah, I know Common and Dwarven and Elvish. That's fascinating. How? I knew an elf, and he taught me some stuff. I have a lot of questions about that, but not the time or place right now. To be continued. But as part of being in the university, then we were often taught basic linguistics across the board. And Leaf, in order to help incorporate you into the group, then I would like for all of us to learn ASL, or ASMR Sign Language, which is gifted from the gods so that those of us without a physical voice can still communicate. And also the deaf community can communicate. So I would like all of us right now to learn, and I know the ASL alphabet. And then that'll help you, Leaf. And then I would certainly like to know more ASL, so I will go grab a book from my favorite bookstore. But if any of you also would like to, this will be a great way to open up another pathway. And then Tutu goes, I'm very impressed. That's excellent, Rock. Onyx, Tipsy, what do you think? Then Onyx, what is it? Oh, sign language is where you use your hands and your facial expressions to say what you want to say without using actual verbiage of your vocal cords vibrating and then producing the sound that you are hearing right now from my voice. Okay. Yes, you can actually teach it to infants, and it'll be like food, and I don't know the specifics, but like I'm thirsty and things. So, Onyx, I know you specifically don't exactly want to talk sometimes, so this this might be a shorthand for us, and it'll be our secret little code. And then Tutu goes, I think that is a wonderful idea, because one of the spells that I learned is silence, and in case we are encased within the silence sphere, then we will be able to use ASL to communicate to each other. And then Rock stops in his tracks and turns slowly to Toot Toot. You've learned silence? Yes, I did. I learned silence, and then I learned well, because I am the only individual in this adventuring party without dark vision, so I figured that this would be useful to carry my own weight, even though I am considered a powerful build, so I can carry quite a bit of weight, but like this. And then he grabs the edge of the table that they're all kind of sitting at, that Toot Toot, Onyx, and Tipsy are sitting at, and Leaf is floating next to, and Rock is a little bit away, standing in a very professorial stance. And Toot Toot grabs a hold of the circular edge of the table and goes, and then the whole tabletop just emits this bright light. And it's very much like a drafter table where you are working, like you have pieces of paper, and then for architects, I think, where you can have the paper and then the light comes from underneath, so you can do multiple stories, like work on multiple stories at a time. So, toot toot. Let there be light. So this is the light cantrip. Bright light within 20 feet, and then dim light 20 feet after that. And then I also learned, well, I don't want to disturb your your papers here, but... And then he turns towards Tipsy sitting just buried in his book. He's not even... You get a sense that he's not listening that much. But his face is buried. And then Tutu goes, I learned this. And then you see his giant elephant loxodon ears like... pulsate back and forth. Most of the people in my herd can do this on their own, but I had to study for a little bit. And then facing Tipsy, then all of Tipsy's pages flutter in his face, and he's going, wow, wow. And then his chair starts to tip backwards, and this small creature, the small humanoid Tipsy, leans back, and then Toot Toot stops right before Tipsy tips over. Well, let's roll to see if Tipsy tips over, because that's fun. This is a dexterity saving throw. That is a 9 plus 6 with a 15. Then Tipsy, and then lands forward. What the? Why, what? Tipsy, now we've got your attention, huh, Tipsy? I'm doing So what was that? This is gust with my ears, because I felt that, I felt bad that back at the yawning portal, then there was a fire, and then I thought by that time I hadn't exercised my ears capabilities, so this is gust, the cantrip gust with my elephant ears. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, and he's squinting over the bright table. I'll turn that off. But I learned silence also, so... What did you learn? And then Rock goes, silence is the only illusion spell that wizards cannot learn. And you learned it as a bard. Quite quickly, I'd imagine. I learned it overnight, it felt like. Could you teach me? What? Certainly, I'll try. It's not in the wizard spell list, so I can't learn it from traditional means. So, could you teach me? Yeah, it's still new to me, so I won't do it now because it's a second level spell. But certainly, because you are an illusion-based wizard, right? They are my favorite thing. So yes, please, if you. That is the one unobtainable. It can't. And then Rock himself, without casting a second level spell, goes into silence. And then now with Tipsy's attention and Toot Toot staring up at him, and Onyx is just kind of staring around. So wait, what are we doing? Rock snaps out of it. Oh, yes. I learned... What did he learn? I wrote it all down. I learned Unseen Servant and message so that I could communicate with you all, and borrowed knowledge, because that's very wizard-like with intellect. And anyways, we are about to learn right now, and then he kind of shakes himself out of it. ASL, the alphabet. So, if I could have your attention. Now, Leaf as well. So, 26 letters of the ASMR sign language. So, A is when you close a fist, and then you have your thumb on the outside of your forefinger, like that. So, that's A. And then B is when you have an open palm. Please do it with me as well, because he sees that Tipsy was trying to go back to his book. You all, this is ASL alphabet. Who knew that you're going to learn? So, A fist. Nope. a fist and then your thumb on the outside, and then B, an open palm facing towards the recipient, because ASL is very much like, imagine if you're a visual learner, all the lowercase versions of the alphabet, and then it is very directional towards the person you're trying to communicate with. So your palm up for B, and then your thumb just across like this, across your palm. So that's B, and then C, make a little C. And then D, you go from C, and then you point the one finger up, and then you close it so that when it's facing you, like this, then you can see the lowercase letter D, but you kind of do that, so that's D. And then E, you close your fist, but you put your knuckles like this, kind of, instead of a full-on A. It's like you curl your knuckles underneath even more, and then put your thumb on the meat of your palm like this. And then F is, I learned this today, hold on. F is, oh, okay. F is for the Americans. Then it's okie day. So it's the opposite of D. So D is the lowercase, where you have your three fingers, so you have your forefinger pointing up, and then your other three fingers, middle ring and pinky, touching your thumb. And then F is the opposite. So only your forefinger is touching the thumb. So in American, then this is the OK symbol. I know in some other countries this is not as pleasant of a sign, but that is F. And then G, imagine. So make the A and the E fist again, but your finger and your forefinger and your thumb, imagine you are holding a grape. So G for grape. You're holding it like this, but you are turning the back of your forefinger towards the person you are talking to. So it's a little bit, you're gesturing just a little bit for that green grape, and then you're holding it, but the back of your forefinger is facing the person you are talking to. So it's kind of a horizontal base, so that your forefinger is on like a horizontal plane. And then H, you replace your thumb with your middle finger. So instead of one finger facing the intended recipient, then it's two fingers, like that. Then I is your little pinky up in the air, like I. And then J, use that pinky to draw a J in the air. And then K is, you have your forefinger pointing up, and then your middle finger leaning a little bit forward. And then you put your thumb in between, so you're touching the first knuckle of your middle finger that's pointing towards the intended recipient. So that's K. It kind of looks like a sideways K if you look at it a little bit, but it's forward facing like that. J, K, L, like this. So you have your thumb on a horizontal plane, and then your forefinger pointing up. For the podcast, I assume that this is incredible. But L, and then Tipsy goes, they're all doing it, but then Tipsy goes, L like loser. Yes, L like loser, that's what it kind of looks like. And then Onyx goes, hold on. I'm with you except for this one. Because I was taught that L for left, for your hands, you make it like this. You do it, and then that tells you which hand is left. And then he kind of looks down at his hand, where his left hand is making the L, but then his right hand is making the L too. No, hold, which one's my left now? No, you had it right the first time. Your left hand is the one with the L. They both have L's. We will have that discussion here in a moment, but L, so like that. And then M is you make a fist, but you tuck your thumb underneath your first three fingers. So you kind of do that, so that your first three fingers are covering up your thumb in the fist. And then N is pretty much the same as M, but you tuck your first two fingers over your thumb, and your thumb is poking out in the middle. And then O is kind of like a C that's closed, and of course it looks like an O. Then P, you make that K, but you point it downward. So the forefinger is pointing towards your intended recipient, and then the middle finger at an angle is kind of pointing at their feet. So that's P. And then Q is a G, but you are pointing down with it. So you have your forefinger and your thumb on that horizontal plane, but instead you, let's see, what's this? You kind of tilt it, or roll it. Yeah, I think roll is it. You roll it downward. So that's Q. Then R, you cross your fingers and hope for luck, and you point the forefinger and the ring in your middle finger upward. So that's R. S is kind of like an A, but instead you make a fist and you put your thumb over your fingers. S. T, it's like an M or an N, but you go one further. So it's like a little turtle poking its head out. So that's T. U, you stick both your forefinger and your middle finger up in the air together. And then V, whoosh, you spread them apart. It looks like a V. And then W, throw in that ring finger. X, you have your forefinger up like this, but you crunch it over. And it looks like your forefinger is talking at you. And then Y, you stick your thumb out and then the pinky outward, so it looks like a diagonal, and that's Y. And then Z, you have your forefinger and then you run it in the air like a Z, just like J with the pinky going in the air like a J. So that is the ASL alphabet. So to review: A, fist with the thumb. B, open palm with the B with the thumb in it. C, make a little C. D, you close it. It's an O, but you stick your forefinger up, so it's a D. E, with the knuckles. F, it's the opposite, so it's okay for F. G, you're holding a grape. H, you do two fingers. I, pinky. J, swoop. K, you have the middle finger and the forefinger with your thumb kind of in there, and the middle finger is pointing at the recipient. J, K, L, and then Onyx goes, ugh. M, with your three fingers of your thumb in a fist. N, you moved your thumb over, so it's the first two fingers. O, that's C but closed. D but closed. F but closed. O. P, it's the K, but you point it downward. Oh dear. Shoot. Hold on, y'all. I think I taught P wrong, but P-A-S-L. No, I was right. Yeah, you point it like that. And then Q is G, but you tilt it. You move it. You roll it down. Q, R, cross your fingers and hope for luck. S, it's a fist, but with your thumb on the inside, on the outside. T, it's an M, N, and then T. So your thumb is between your first finger and your middle finger in the fist. T, U, both fingers up. V, whoosh, like a V, W. X, crouched over. Y, hang loose, my friend. And then Z, forefinger, bam, bam, bam. Yay! And then Leaf excitedly claps his ethereal hands together. And Toot Toot, who, let's see actually how well everyone learned it. So, we're going to roll sleight of hand, but this is sight of hand. So, that is, and then I'm going to use the Mjolnir dice tower to roll my little baby dice. Oh, what a satisfying noise. That is Tipsy. He rolled a 14 because it's the smallest die. Sleight of hand. 14 plus 6. So that's a 20. And then Onyx will roll this clear one, and then Toot Toot will roll the pink one. Onyx rolled a 2 plus 0 to sleight of hand, and then Toot Toot rolled a 14 also. Plus 3, 17. So Toot Toot with his big old sausage fingers. A, S, L. A. So he closes his fist with the thumb on the outside, and then he moves his thumb over his fingers for the S, and then L, the ASL. I think I got it. And then Tipsy, who's very just dexterous with his fingers anyways, then he goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Can I go home now? And then Rock is like, that was absolutely incredible. We have a little bit more to talk about, but I thank you for picking that up so well and for reading. This is, I'm simply blown away by you right now, Tipsy. Yeah. And then Onyx with his 2 goes, which one's left? Onyx, you sweetheart. This one is left. Here we go. Oh, okay. So the L is facing, but this one's facing. Onyx, I will do extra tutelage with you. Okay. Stupid. It's not stupid. A lot of people communicate very well this way, and that's only the alphabet, but there's a whole language. So any word that you say, there's a gesture for it. So I'm excited to learn. I will continue to learn. Leaf, and then Leaf goes, all right, I'm going to trim this for the podcast, but Leaf goes, and then Rock goes, you're welcome. But actually, I do know a little bit more. So ASL, the alphabet, but if you put your hand to your chin right under your lip, and then like an open palm like B, but with the hand, and then you, what's this? If you tilt down from your elbow and gesture your hand forward, then that is thank you in ASL. Thank you. I don't know you're welcome. And I think if you have a fist together and then rub it in a circle over your chest, your heart, then I think that means I'm sorry. So, you are welcome. Leaf. F is going to be tricky for me, but y'all, I looked up ASL alphabet. I learned it like in elementary school, and then I remembered 80% of the letters, but here we are. So, if nothing else tonight, we all did the ASL alphabet together, which I think is pretty dang cool. So, but also, real quick, and then Tipsy, I really appreciate you being here and picking it up so fast. You do have the second highest intelligence of the group. Yeah, I know. What? There's also a practice within the ASL community that I love, that I would love to venture out to the group right now, that instead of spelling ROQ or TI, and then Tipsy goes TIPSY. Yeah. Instead of Tipsy or Onyx, could you do your name? L. No. O. Yes, very good. O. Okay, what's after O? O. Remember, we learned the ASL alphabet, so what came before O? No, not L. N. I don't know the other ones were at the end of the alphabet. So Y, X. So onyx, and then toot toot, and then toot toot. This is easy, but TOOTTOOT. It's pretty amusing. So instead of spelling out your name every single time, then the ASL community does a condensed gesture of like, this is my ASL name. So I knew a gentleman named Chance, where it's very appropriate for a Dungeons and Dragons show, but his name Chance, his ASL name was as if he were rolling dice. So Chance. Oh, that's very good. Mine's gonna be O L. And then Rock goes, well, I think actually, since we have vocal language, then I think Leaf should pick our names for ASL because he will be using it the most. And then Leaf, well, can you say an Can you say an M? I don't know. And then he looks around at, let's see, Toot Toot first, and then then Leaf gestures, like he puts his hands together kind of in double fisting O's, and then he like mimes Toot Toot's tusks, which is very much like, if you've seen my channel trailer, then it's Toot Toot tickling the ivories, la la la, it's a Loxodon joke. Then he does, and then Toot Toot goes, oh, that's very good. We can both tickle the ivories at the same time. So yes, that is great. Toot Toot, and it's symmetrical, and it's the same gesture, so Toot Toot, and then, yeps, Leaf, amazing, thank you. And then he looks over at Tipsy, who's already back in the book. I looked pretty bad. Let's do a Y, and then like as if he's drinking. So his thumb pointing to his mouth and Oh dear, I'm blushing now. Get on. It's rosacea. Yeah, that's right. So Rock goes, that's very appropriate. Tipsy, you are this. And then Tipsy goes, I wish I was doing that right now instead of reading a stupid dumb book. I heard that. I'm right here. What about Onyx? And then Leaf looks at the dwarf barbarian just scowling down at he has an L in one hand and an O in the other. I love that he rolled a 2. That's great. And then Leaf goes, he scrunches up his face. And then crosses his arms. And Rock goes, I think that's a hole-in-one. Yes. And then Rock. And then Leaf turns to Rock. And then grabs a fist. And then, like, as a rock falling, boom, into his other open hand, like a palm, like as if you're going to throw rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors. So just 1. And then Rock goes, yes, I like that. It's a little bit violent. I try and stay away from violence, but it's very appropriate. Okay, so Toot Toot, Tipsy, Onyx, and then Rock. And how about you, Leaf? How would you like to be referred? Leaf as in like, go away, like that. And then Leaf shakes his head, thinking, oh. So he has his hand out again, his palm facing up, like he's about to sign Rock. And then with his other hand, and then his other hand gracefully floats down like a leaf falling into his other hand. And he kind of holds his hands together for a moment and holds it close to his chest. And then Rock goes, I think that's extraordinary. So, Leaf, ASL, what do you think? And then Leaf, while still holding his hands to his chest, nods gratefully. And he's beaming. And then he's looking up and then down at his pages. And then just starts like signing away. And then Rock turns towards the other group and goes, "Oh, well, he's a bit of a motor mouth, isn't he?" So that's fun. I like that a lot. And then after 10 minutes of Rock pretty much interpreting Leaf while reading, and he's reading it out loud, then Rock is explaining, Rock is interpreting, Rock is translating Leaf, explaining all of his blueprints. And Rock goes, "Okay, so these are plans for Fay Day. Okay, Fay Day. I make a note of that. Hold on a second." And then he looks up to make eye contact with Onyx and Toot Toot because Tipsy's back to reading. This is a lot of work. Okay. A lot of furniture pieces and decorations. How lovely. This seems like Leaf. And then Rock gets Leaf's attention as he's picking up his last piece of paper and putting it down, and then constantly like straightening up the pages. And Leaf looks up. "Huh? Leaf, I love these plans. Your passion it knows 2 lifetimes now. And then he gestures around to the empty tap room, "don't have a lot. And then he gestures to the group, just have beds at the moment. So this will take some time to collect these furniture pieces. And Fay Day, gentlemen, I remember from Volo's Enchiridan, that Fay Day is actually tomorrow. Shay 19. And what Leaf is explaining, he's come up with plans, and Rock sprints upstairs and comes back holding Volo's Enchiridan. I don't know how to pronounce it. Enchiridian. Then he goes, "Okay, Shay 19 Fay Day. The veil between this world and the fairy realm of the Feywild is thought to be weak on this day. Though this phenomenon provokes caution in rural areas, with folk avoiding woodlands, putting offerings of food on doorsteps and the like, it is an occasion of much drinking, singing, and dancing in Waterdeep. The wealthy host elaborate masked balls, while poorer folk don costumes of their own make and travel door to door, gaining brief entry into the celebrations in exchange for performing a song or a short play." And then you see Rock pale a little bit at that. "All adopt the guises of Fey beings and the supposed rulers of the Feywild, such as Queen Titania, Oberon, and Hearsam, the Prince of Fools. Those inclined to remain sullen in the face of such frivolity had best stay home, for celebrants do their utmost to evoke a smile from those they meet." So that, gentlemen, is tomorrow, and from what it looks like here, Leaf has plenty of plans in order to spruce things up a bit. So Leaf, again, it'll take us a little bit of time to gather all these furniture pieces, but I, for one, am impressed. I remember that you don't sleep, and this seems like a very good use of that time. And Tutu goes, you took the words right out of my mouth, and the words right out of my hand." He looked at Rock and then Leaf. "All right, so and Rock kind of gathers himself up again. So, Leaf, thank you very much for saying that. May I pose this quandary to the gentleman? What do we do next? Because last night we talked about us definitely staying, which I agree with. But what do we do now? Like, what are our priorities? Because I have a couple things I am interested in learning, of course, more spells and seeing certain mysteries through, but what does everyone else want? And then Tipsy goes, oh, well, actually, since we're here, I brought paintings yesterday, and then we kind of hemmed and hawed about who got what painting because we didn't know what it was. So can we pick a paintings? Because I know which painting I want. Oh, okay, absolutely. But, so to throw those paintings back up, because I did D&D research, but last time was Quaso Quest, so it was not... There we go. Here are the paintings. So Tipsy goes, okay, I know I want the Luskin one, which is the one in the top left corner. Here, I want the Luskin one because it's dark and there are people on the rooftop and they look sneaky, and so that reminds me of, what I'm best at, what my job is. So I want that one. And so then he takes that one, and then he just takes it and then goes upstairs to his room. He closes the book and then tucks the painting. Well, he's having a hard time because Tipsy, again, is 2'10", so he is kind of grabbed one corner of it and then is kind of dragging it up, very much like the pizza rat, the New York subway pizza rat, who had a very big old slice of cheese, but he's holding one corner of it and then going up the stairs backwards. Tipsy kind of is doing that with one hand, with the thick tome under one arm, and then he's holding the other one. And then Rock goes, let me help you real quick. Hold on. And so then Rock helps Tipsy carry the painting up to his room. And then Rock comes down. Tipsy would like to continue reading, which, again, I am so happy for him. I am honestly a little jealous because, to read and physically transform after it. If you read a good book, then it feels like you already physically transform. But in order to gain actual tangible numbers, that's impressive. So, color me impressed. Color me busy. I'm reading. Okay, sorry. So that's one painting. Gentlemen, do you have a preference on the other ones? And then Onyx goes, I'm gonna move Silvery Moon for a second, just so I can see. I don't care, says Onyx. Toot Toot goes, actually, if given the choice, gentlemen, I really do like the Silvery Moon one, because the green reminds me of nature, and it's always calming out there. Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. Maybe I want that one. Well, Onyx, if you really want it. No, that's fine. Okay, well, it also seems serene and peaceful, and I really like that one. So may I have the Silvery Moon one? And then Ronix, both of them go, of course you can have that. Yeah, fine. And then Toot Toot takes the Silvery Moon one. And then for the other two, Onyx, do you have a preference? No. Okay, well, I personally like... I like this top one of Neverwinter, because it looks just like that's a great place to learn, and it looks cleaner, and it almost looks like the university that I went to. So I will take Neverwinter, and then Onyx, you get Baldur's Gate. Look at that. I like it because it's kind of dirty, and it has the ocean next to it. I used to live on the ocean. Onyx, you are full of surprises today. I didn't know that either. Yeah. You know Elvish and you lived on the ocean for a while? Yeah. So that is pick paintings. Great. All right. One last thing before we do something else. Rock continues. Toot Toot. While I went to the bookstore, Bookworm's Treasure, where I found that treasure is in just books. Then Onyx, who's holding the painting very much like Parks and Rec, where Tommy? Is his name Tommy? Tom, yeah, okay. Tom Haverford is staring at a piece of art going, I've looked at this for hours now. So Onyx is now looking at his Baldur's Gate painting. Yeah, you found spells also, and ink and stuff. Yes, I was spellbound. Anyways, so I picked you to toot up these paper birds. Paige the wordsmith, who is the proprietor of Bookworm's Treasure, she had just these in stock currently at the time, so I got them for you. Maybe this could be good for Ban. Oh yes, says Toot Toot. Wonderful. I have not received the previous paper bird back, so we'll see even if that is an option. How many papers are there? I think there are 6. And I didn't write that down for some reason. I think there were 6. I didn't write it down. We'll see. We'll find out. I think there are 6. Oh, well, maybe in... Let's see if I can reverse engineer. He spent 10 gold on paper birds. I think he had 6 pieces of paper birds. So I think there are 6. And then Tutu goes, okay, so before I take all of them, let's see if Ban in fact can speak my name, which I believe is the only, well, one of the qualifiers for sending the paper bird in the first place. So I will only take 3, if it is 6. 3 of those paper birds. You have the other half, Rock, just in case we need them for some other things. So, thank you. Future Victor. Toot Toot has 3 paper birds. Rock has 3 paper birds. Great. And then, that's that. I'm just looking over my notes. And then Rock goes, fabulous. I think that is all that I had. Leaf. Leaf. G-O-O-D. Nope. That was goof. Ooh, I'm a goof. D. Good. And then Rock does a thumbs up, and then Leaf does the thank you gesture again. This is lovely. All right. Now, then Rock looks back down. Rock is taking control of this episode. I love it, because it's normally Toot Toot, but Rock looks down at the papers on the desk, on the table, and he goes, if we don't have anything else, then I say we go to the forest for the trees to find out about furniture. What do you all think? I think that's a wonderful idea, says Toot Toot. And Onyx goes, right, because this frame is made out of wood, he says, looking at the painting some more. Yes, let us go. It'll be a fun adventure. I will go upstairs and see if Tipsy wants to go. In fact, I haven't seen Waddles in a while. So maybe he's up there with Tipsy. So Rock goes upstairs with his painting of Neverwinter, and then Toot Toot and Onyx are kind of just hanging out in the tap room of the awning portal. And then Toot Toot is taking a moment to watch Onyx as Onyx is poring over all the small details in this oil painting of Baldur's Gate. And Toot Toot is just watching with a smile on his face. And Onyx is going, oh, cool, there's a little boat. I like that. There's lots of smoke on it. And Onyx is just poring over the painting, and Toot Toot. You know Elvish, and you've lived on the ocean for a while. Yep. My past is full of mysteries. I went on a boat a couple times across oceans. Oh yeah? Which ones? I can tell you because I have the map. The Quick Steam Sea. I hopped over from Alios to Kasselheim, and then through Low Tide Ocean to go to Udapas. How about yourself? Just all over the place. Sea of Sorrow, Cyan Sea, Ice Storm Sea. When I was in the Ice Storm Sea, I went up north and I got bones, vertebra for my beard, and I think some of them were polar bear bones, because when I got bigger and better at being a barbarian, there's a lot of bees, and then he makes the gesture for bee. When I got bigger and better at being barbarian, I got polar bear infused in me. And then he looks up from the Baldur's Gate painting and gestures and rubs his fingers through his white arm hair and then his white braided beard and his dreadlocks, and he kind of shakes his head. I miss my bones, because they used to make a cool clack, clack, clack noise when I do this. But now they don't. But they'll be ready on Fayday. Onyx says more to himself than Toot Toot. Then Toot Toot's just still. Onyx, what do you want? I want my bones. No. Beyond that. Do you just want to collect trophies and kill monsters and animals and beasts? Or... And then Onyx. Oh no. Just... I don't know. But again, I like being with you guys, so... Then Onyx looks up for the first time and makes eye contact with Toot Toot. You like songs and stories, huh? Yes, I do. That is why I'm a bard. Maybe I'll tell you my stories, and you can put them to song or something. That would be really nice. We should do it over a glass or 7. And then you hear somewhere in the second story, wait, what? Yeah, I like drinking. I know. Anyways, what do you think Rock wants to do? I think that Rock wants to go get furniture to liven up this place. Oh yeah, we should turn this place into a bar, like a tavern. That'd be cool. Call it Onyx's. He holds up the O that he super remembered from ASL. Onyx's Lounge. Oh well. That is definitely, I will add that to the list of names that we can use. Onyx's location. Onyx's... Oh. And then Rock comes downstairs. Okay, so, Tipsy really wants to learn. He wants to finish reading that stupid dumb book. But I say we go to the forest for the trees and see about making a deal. I don't have a lot of money anymore because I spent it on learning spells and getting magic ink and paper and spells. So I don't have a lot of money. And this... Oh, Leaf is still there. Oh, hello, Leaf. But, Leaf, I don't have a lot of money to get all of this, but hopefully we will speak to Spanish Mustache and Woodrow and see if we can work out a nice deal. And then Leaf, who was just really still straightening up the pages and making a couple more notes. And then he signs out. That sounds good. That sounds good. So then Rock goes, I need to go to Bookworm's Treasure to pick up a book about ASL. I need to do that. Remember, I need to... Okay. So, yes, shall we go? Tipsy will not be joining us because he really, really wants to read. So, shall we? And then my party, except for Tipsy, will go to more of the northward to find the forest for the trees again. However, they are walking down the street and the snow in Waterdeep is starting to melt a little bit. So you can see, instead of the blanket of white snow everywhere and on top of the roofs, then you can see a patch here and there of brown dirt and cobblestone underneath. So things are starting to melt. Because how seasons work. Because how seasons do. So they go to where they remember the forest for the trees was. And then Onyx, who's kind of leading the way, because he has Outlander, which... Oh, well, no, he has Wanderer, which is an excellent memory for maps and geography. Always recall terrain. So he goes to where he remembered the forest for the trees was. And then he looks around going... It was right here. Because they go to like where there's a giant wall that is at the north end of Northward, and it's kind of right where it was. And so Rock goes, well, let's look. And remember, the last time we found it, we rolled, instead of perception because we couldn't find it, we rolled investigation. So we need to look again. So Toot will be the same pink one. Rock will be the summer one, and then Onyx will be... Onyx rolled a 13 plus for investigation. I bet it's not good. Oh, a 1. So 14 altogether for Onyx. Rock. And Toot. Rock rolled a 9 plus 6 for investigation, so that's 15. And then Toot rolled a 4 plus 2, so 6. Gotcha. So 14 and 15. Then kind of at the same time, then Rock and Onyx, in kind of a new location, or like they turned around in the block, and then they see the wooden barn kind of shifted a little bit. And then Rock goes, that is... I am baffled, and magic is beyond me sometimes, and I love learning, so let us go forth. And so they open up the giant wooden barn doors into the forest for the trees, which is the wooden barn, and inside it's still... it's before noon. There we go. That's why Waddles and the Queso Quest crew wasn't outside, because I forgot about that. So it's before noon, so they go out into the forest for the trees. And oh no, I wanted to do this also. Where on the walk over there, let's see how long it lasts actually. Yeah, so on the 10-minute walk up, then Rock was ritually casting comprehend languages. Yes. And he goes inside. Dang it. Still. And he goes inside, and Woodrow the Woodwode, who was today's, was it today? Was today's D&Me Advent Calendar edition. I think it was. Let me double check. On Instagram. I think it was. I think Woodrow the Woodwode was today's. Yep, there he is. Was today's entry for D&MeAdventures, which is the Instagram, and it's also on Twitter and Facebook. Woodrow the Woodwode. So my mom challenged me to say that 3 times fast. So Woodrow the Woodwode, 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 Woodrow the Woodwode. Nailed it. First try. Podcast. So they go inside, and Woodrow is running back and forth in the lit front half of the giant barn, and Rock, who ritual casted comprehend languages so that he doesn't have to spend a spell slot, goes up and goes, Woodrow! Oh, beans. Because Woodrow goes, oh, hello, bed. I remember you, bed. You wanted 4 bed. Woodrow speaks Sylvan back to Rock, but because of comprehend languages, you can only comprehend languages, and you cannot speak a new language. So, comprehend languages, you can cast it as a ritual, which is 10 minutes plus whatever casting time, so it's 10 minutes and 6 seconds. It lasts an hour. You know the literal meaning of spoken language heard or written language seen and touched. But then Rock, who I forgot until this time, I forgot again, Rock goes, nuts. Are you sure you don't know common, Woodrow? And then Woodrow is staring blankly with his, like, broken off bark face, and then these 2 yellow motes of light is staring blankly at Rock, and one of the eyes kind of just drift lazily across, but the eyes snap back to attention when Rock said, Woodrow, you ordered the 4 beds. What would you like now? Other pieces of wood furniture? And then Rock goes, I don't. Looks at Toot and Onyx just standing at the entranceway. Onyx just finished closing the barn door. I don't have tongues, which I think is where I can speak Sylvan back to Woodrow. And then Woodrow, yeah, you have ordered the 4 beds. Yeah, mm-hmm. And then Rock turns back around and nods, like, overly, like, yes, I did. And then you hear a shifting in the back of the dimly lit, the forest for the trees. And then you hear shifting of giant trunks, and again, naked branches brushing up against the ceiling as Spanish mustache, the giant treant with green, gray, teal handlebar mustache, leans forward. You are back. Yes, we are back. Hello. We wanted to get more furniture, but not bed. No, not more beds. I'm sorry, Spanish mustache. I can understand the Sylvan now, but I'm unable to reply. I speak common. It is And then a breeze coming from the back half of the forest for the trees washes over my boys. Oh, it's a wood joke. Yes. Very good. That it was. Rock couldn't come up with a wood joke quick enough.
How can we help you?
Well, we have the haunted property that is no longer as haunted. We took care of that. A very nice half-elf gentleman. But he sketched out for us some furniture recommendations. And we, as a collective, don't have a lot of money. But we were wondering, at least, boys, I was wondering, is it okay? And then Toot Toot, oh, yes, go ahead. And then Onyx is just staring up. And he's kind of staring interestedly, eyes squinted a little bit at Woodrow, whose eyes are just kind of floating around in the darkness of his face. We were wondering if there was an exchange that we could make, where we could offer you help in some way in order. Instead of monetarily, we could help you voluntarily.
Yes. You could, actually.
As Spanish mustache comes closer.
Our supply of lumber has trickled down because the people bringing it into town run into trouble. We do not get a lot of details back, but fewer and fewer trunks wind our way. If you could help clear the path of whatever beast or monster prevents them from getting into Waterdeep, we can offer furniture.
Okay, a beast or a monster? And no details. That sounds good. Oh, I wish I had brought. And then Toot Toot from behind. You wish you brought these? And then he holds out leaves of paper. And Rock goes, oh, brilliant. Yes. And so he kind of gathers them up and hands them to Woodrow. Whoa. Okay, so we have different couches and fainting couches and elaborate tables and front facades, wooden. And he goes through these lots of pages and he's kind of listing out all of the furniture. And Rock, who hears, nods his head some more, a little bit too much of just, yes, those, because he can't really reply back. And Toot Toot and Onyx are just hearing, yes, yep.
Grand ideas that half-elf has.
Yes. Nope. Tipsy's voice keeps wanting to come out, so Rock goes, yes. He has what I imagine is plenty time to think, and he doesn't sleep, so that helps too. So, yes, could you point us in a direction? And yeah, so Spanish Mustache gives him a general direction of heading out the, you know what? my next task is scanning. It's just such a big map, y'all. Such a big poster map to put up. That's a lot. Maybe I could do just ward by ward. That might be better. But let me fold it back up because I just wanted to show you how big it is. Oh boy. Come on. I think I folded it up wrong. But I just want to check something real quick. Yes. Okay. So, Jason Engel, friend of the show, who made the poster map, designed one of the Magic the Gathering Dungeons and Dragons cards. And here it was really quick. So it's called Grim Wanderer, and the people, the patrons in the Yawning Portal, because you can tell the doorway is that maw that the iconic fireplace has that they met Volo in the next day. So the patrons are actually friends of his and fellow artists. So I tweeted him recently, and he let me know who is who, including himself, I think, in the bottom right-hand corner. I think. I don't remember exactly, but how cool is that, y'all? Everything's interconnected. I love it. So thank you, Jason Engel, again. You can find him at J_A_E_1 on Twitter. Jason Engel. ENGEL. So, Spanish Mustache directs them to go out the closest field ward gate. Oh, they can't do that at all, because there's a giant sheer cliff on the way down. So instead, he directs them to head west to the high road, then north through those gates to the field ward, and then into the north yard, and then through out of the city, and then head pretty much northeast to the remaining woods that are on the outside of Waterdeep. So they will do that, and I'll wrap it up here for the intermission in a second. But Rock, as they get directions and look at the map and stuff, then Rock goes, "Oh, actually, I did want to ask you, this building both times now has been difficult to find and locate. What is the secret there?" And then Spanish Mastery.
You need to keep an eye on different perspectives, because things change and things are never as they seem. So says the treant at the forest for the trees.
Amazing. That's a very deep level of philosophy and existentialism, and I appreciate this lesson. This is a very rock-centric episode because he's driving everything, which I love. This is great. Thank you very much. And Woodrow, we have bed? No more beds, but I am excited to work with you. Can I teach Woodrow ASL? And then he looks at Woodrow's two arms, which one of them is melded into a club, and then the other one is like grown into a shield. So he has literally no digits. And he goes, not so much. Maybe I can learn Sylvan. How long does it take to learn a language? Anyways, thank you both gentlemen very much, and we will, I guess, go out on an adventure, huh? And then Tutunonix, yes, that sounds very good.
Oh, that one's left.
So, I'm going to pause here for an intermission. I hope y'all are amazing. This is really fun so far. I love it. I love D&Me Wednesdays. So, thank you for staying tuned. I'm going to play I don't remember what I played last time. I'm going to play my theme song again. All right, here we go. I'll be back in a second. Oh, yeah, so it takes 10 seconds and then of nothing and then 20 seconds of counting down and then the theme song. So actually, I'll restart that so I can get the full 30 seconds.
Come, friend, now lend me an ear for a tale of Victor the Weird. He went on an adventure with he, him, and himself, and also his mighty fine beard. Now gather round, I'll tell you about this mighty beast. He may look as human, as mere as you, friend, but soon your eyes will feast upon this marvelous creature with many body parts. His one shirt may fool you, but what if I told you his chest had 4 red hearts? One mouth but 1,000 voices, one mind and limited choices, 2 handsome dice, 2 handsome dice. The audience rejoices. He's going to play D&D with him, himself, and he. Those are his pronouns, it's really profound. It's time for D&Me, featuring Victor and 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 Victor. One knows who knows how many repeats. So come and sit down in an empty seat. It's time for D&Me. 2 eyes, 4 cheeks, 2 souls on his feet, 2 hands for reading and foes to defeat, 1 tongue, 2 lips through which to speak, but just one but.
5 toot toot sings. 5 toot toot sings.
5 toot 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 sings. 5 toot toot sings. 5 toot toot sings. 5 toot toot sings. I have one very fun Christmas sweater and then one Christmas sweater here. One like super tacky and then one that is professional. And I thought about wearing them, but my room is a perfect temperature when I have the fan on, but auditorially, that's atrocious. So if I was going to wear the Christmas sweater, then it would be hot and miserable. So here we go. I'll stall just a little bit longer so that people can come back from the restroom too. Is that? Yeah, so my mom in chat says Diagonal Alley, which is one of the sets of Harry Potter trading cards for the Harry Potter trading card game. But I have all of them, all the Diagon Alley ones and the Hogwarts one. But I am missing a couple for the just base set, the Quidditch one, and then Chamber of Secrets. But they're very hard to find, so that's fun. And then Mom also says, nicely done for Woodrow, and then 3 of the clap emojis. My dad, Angelito el Guapo, says, okay, good pun. And then Mom says, I love your tremendous voices for the Barked Bros. I love it. Barked Bros. So, we're back. Then my 3 boys, are heading up west on Whalagond Way, up the high road, which again is a big old swatch of road heading north to south, and then they head up. And then as they're passing again, they're seeing more and more snow melting. They go through these giant columns, which actually is what Floon led Onyx and Rock through in order to meet the Buzzard Bros in the field ward. And as they're going that familiar path, Onyx, with his Wanderer trait, who has an excellent memory for maps, goes,
Oh, can we go and check on my bones real quick? Just really, really quick?
and then Rock goes, I mean, sure. They did say 2 days, though, and that was yesterday.
I know, but I just really want to check.
I have no arguments against that, Toot Toot. I'm just enjoying the walk with you two. And so then Onyx excitedly runs down the the field ward now is getting pungent, because as the snow melts, then the snow was a buffer from the very meaty, gamey, blood-soaked dirt streets of the field ward, which is very low economically. That, and then at the very south of the map, the dock ward, which is where they popped out of the sewers, where it had a lot of dilapidated buildings, and that's where the skewered dragon really was ramshackle. So the field ward is pretty much like the muddy versions of Ren fairs, if you want to have a equivalent. So Onyx going pretty much double his speed, dash actions through, leaving Rock and Toot Toot to hastily follow. Then he looks for the Buzzard Bros Butchers, and then he opens the door and goes inside, and Rock and Toot Toot, he runs fast, doesn't he, for a little guy? You rarely see him excited about anything, except for his bones, I guess. And then Rock, he is a self-proclaimed bone boy, so this makes sense. Then they go inside, and Onyx is, I don't see him. And then he goes through the building, because that's the way he remembers, through the building, which probably isn't the best thing, and then out the back alley, and then across the way to Talons and Tanning, where one of the vulture Aarakocra is leaning. It's outside, leaning up against the wall of Talons and Tanning, and is out of breath himself, and is wiping his forehead with his giant black wings. And then Onyx,
Hey, remember me? I'm Onyx, the bone boy.
Oh, yeah. I remember you. Huh? Man, that excellent stock you got has got us going pretty much since you left. We haven't really slept all that much.
Okay, great. Are you guys done?
Oh, gosh, no. We're barely going to make it for tomorrow, so you just a little bit of patience is what I ask for. Whew. Although, some of your bones, with a little bit of meat on them, you just picked that off, and an aperitif. It's so lovely.
Oh, okay. So they're not done yet?
No, they're not done. All right? I was going to ask what you want, but you want your bones, huh?
Yeah. But if they're not done yet?
No, they are not. All right? Hey! Vinny!
Yeah, what do you want?
Bone Boy's back!
Oh, Bone Boy's back.
and then the other vulture comes out.
Oh, hey, Bone Boy, how are you? I'm good. Is it done yet? Oh, no. The silver dragonite.
And then in a hushed voice, Vinny goes, Vinny.
The silver dragonite itself is gonna it's already wiping us out. That thing is huge, huh? Yeah. So, it's a great amount of gold, and we might even get some platinum out of all of it. Like, we're gonna get some suns out of this.
Which, asterisk, sun is what the Waterdeep name for platinum is. Resume.
We're gonna get some suns out of this if we play our cards right. So, patience is the name of the game. So, oh, hey, how you doing?
And then he notices Rock and Toot Toot approach.
You're new.
How much you want for the tusks?
He points up at Toot Toot and Toot Toot. Oh, no. These are mine. These are mine. Nope. This is my ivory. Thank you.
You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so excuse me for asking.
Onyx, are we done here?
So, but they'll be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, they might be done at the end of the day, all right?
So, again, a lot of good eatings on them, huh? Like just underneath, like you know when you have like barbecue and it's got that white like fat on them, and you just eat that. You want to try some?
Onyx looks back at Rock and Toot Toot.
No, we have an adventure to go on.
Oh, you have an adventure, huh? Well, if you get any more treasures, trophies, bring them back. You are already our favorite customer, all right?
Yeah, our favorite customer.
Vicky, you said that way too creepy.
Well, I'm just saying, he's our favorite customer. He's brought us a lot of good stuff, and he doesn't know about our bag.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, so thanks, Onyx. Rock, what's your name?
I am Toot Toot.
Toot Toot, that's hilarious. All right, fucking. I'm Vinny. He's Vicky.
I'm Vicky.
I just said that, you fucking idiot.
Hey, guess what? You can eat my whole ass.
All right, I'm not gonna do that. Although I've probably eaten worse because of carrion, because I'm a vulture. So I don't like where that's going at all. I'm gonna cut that out. But hey, anyways, anything you know, are you going outside of the city limits? Yeah. All right. So exotic stuff. I like it. So anything you get over there, you bring back. Well, we'll fence it. Okay, well, they'll fence it.
Okay, keep that part down. We don't call it fencing. We call it, legitimate business. Because we have certificates, all right? You can see them. They're plainly posted.
Okay. Bye. I like you guys a lot. Bye.
And then Onyx huffs back through Buzzer Bro Butchers. And then Rock and Toot Toot are awkwardly, okay. So they leave, and then Onyx, who is nonplussed by the smell, but Toot Toot, again, he has his trunk tightly wound up like a chameleon's tail underneath.
So, can we leave the field ward right now, please? The faster the better.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they leave towards the north yard, and then they finally, these three, for the first time in D&Me, they leave Waterdeep. And then they go up the high road, and as soon as they exit, they go through the north gate, and they exit, and it's just fields. Like, Field Ward is named Field Ward, but there's no field. It's tightly packed with these ramshackle buildings. But outside of Waterdeep, to the north here, it's just fields, rolling hills. And then to the left, you can see, like, the horizon kind of curves, and then beyond that, I'd say it's warming up, so you can see like the ocean out there. The ocean called something, probably. What's this ocean called? Nothing? Interesting. So you see the ocean. What is it called? Oh, I have that big map. No, but that's going to take forever to zoom in now. So they go, and then they kind of follow Spanish Mustache's directions and then head northeast. And then Onyx, who, again, he has special skills and stuff. He has Wanderer, so again, excellent memory for maps and geography, always recalls terrain. But also he has Outlander, so in unfamiliar places, he knows ways of wild. So he will roll advantage on survival. And let's have my little... How did this work earlier? Oh, like that. So he will roll advantage on survival, and he has a +4. My little tiny... Look how tiny these silly dice are. Wow. 1 is a natural 1. 1 is a natural 20. So that's amazing. Natural 20 +4 survival. Then Onyx,
Okay, we're going this way.
Jazzed up with the prospect of checking in with his buzzard bros and hearing about the progress of his trophies and bones and hides, then an enthusiastic Onyx is heading northeast and leading the way, and Rock and Toot Toot are joining him, and it's did you hear that? The exhaust went. One of my favorite noises is the jalopy. So the like an old school black and white Mickey Mouse jalopy that's like and pieces are flying off of it. Anyways, so they're heading northeast, and then they are walking for a while, and it's a bit colder here, even though it's warmer generally, but the wind is sweeping through the open fields and hills, and they're walking a while, and Onyx has a little pep in his step, and Toot Toot and Rock are kind of lagging behind a little bit. And then Toot Toot asks Rock, I asked Onyx this earlier, and I'm curious for your answer. Yes, what is it, Toot Toot? So we're here now exploring our Waterdeep options, and now outside of Waterdeep, but what is your ultimate goal? And Rock goes, well, I've been training at my university to learn as much as I can, so, I think a good way to live life is always being a lifelong learner, and certainly I want to learn as many spells and skills as I can. Actually, one of my spells is called Borrowed Knowledge, so at any point in time, any skill that I do not have a proficiency in, I will cast a spell. No, I didn't cast a spell right then, but I suddenly, through Borrowed Knowledge, have a proficiency in that skill for like an hour, I think, but stuff like that, learning as much as I can, as many spells as I can. Yes, I imagine the same is with you and collecting stories and songs. And Toot Toot, yes, that is about right. And honestly, these past couple of days are writing their own stories, pretty much. You could make a whole show out of it. But I just wanted to test the waters, to take the temperature, to make sure that you all are living the best life you can. And then Rock, well, thank you. And then he pats Toot Toot on the back. I appreciate that, and this little man appreciates it too. He gestures towards Onyx, who's like jumped out of the way of a puddle, pretty much. Oh, puddle, and then just walking up, and then all four of them will roll perception, and I will give Onyx advantage because he rolled a natural 20. So. Same mechanic as earlier. So Onyx, the 5'1", which is a tall for a dwarf, will roll the smallest one because he's the smallest currently. That is a 6. So tiny. And with advantage, that is a 2. So that's 6 plus 2 for perception, 8. And then a natural 1 for Rock, plus 1 for perceptions. That turns out to be 2, but a natural 1 anyways. And then Toot Toot, 18 plus 3 with the 21. So Rock, so both Onyx and Rock now are just enjoying life, walking about. Onyx is ahead. Rock is thinking about his grander goals, and then Toot Toot, as they pass this one particular field that's melting and there are patches of snow and mounds, then he's just looking around, admiring the view, how he's not feeling encroached by buildings. and a little bit claustrophobic at times sometimes. But now it's this big sweeping landscape, and he looks around and he notices a figure standing out in the middle of a hill, and then he squints closely, and then it's not actually a figure, it's just a tall mound of snow. And he squints and he smiles because it looks like some kids decorated this mound of snow with a silly hat, this antiquated cone sticking on top of his head with golden moons and stars, and then two coal eyes and a carrot for a nose. And if you take corn, like a corn on the cob, and then cut it in half and then take all the kernels off, then they made a little pipe out of it and then stuck it into his mouth. And then he squints and smiles and continues on the way. And then from his periphery, then he saw, or he thought he saw, movement, and he looked back, and the snowman's head turned just a little bit, and Toot Toot is squinting at it some more, and then the snowman moves, lurches forward 10 feet, and Toot Toot goes, "Oh my goodness, oh that look!" And then he points out to Rock and Onyx, "Look, it's oh, he startled me. That mound of snow is getting closer." And then this snowy face, you see more pieces of coal kind of burrow their way to the surface and then make this very big smile. "Oh, well, that's disconcerting. That's a little bit creepy. Should we? And it's only moving 10 feet each time, just lurching with a smile as it's coming closer. Boys, gentlemen, do look at that." And then Rock goes, "Oh, do you think it's friendly?" And then Onyx goes, "Probably not." And now they all roll initiative. So, Tipsy is not there, Victor, so you can delete that. I like how I set things up and some things don't happen. So, I will use green. Or do I have green? I have green already. So, now. Oh, and it's also Christmas colors, because it's red and green. You can't see green because of my green screen. But, so, Onyx is red. So, plus. Oh, okay, well, that makes that easy. Nice. Excellent. So, now, as a snowman is just gliding closer, then it is Toot Toot up first and goes, "Well, he's not hurting us or anything. Do I actually go for it?" And then Rock goes, "Well, we had to roll initiative, so I probably would." And then I would say that the snowman is 30 feet across. Well, 30 feet away. So, Toot Toot now. I don't have a lot of things to do. Oh, I have his things right here. Okay. So Toot Toot, as this thing is coming closer, Onyx, it's cold outside. And then Toot Toot sings Bardic Inspiration to Onyx. Where's my dry erase marker? Okay. Uses one of his Bardic Inspirations as a bonus action. And then Onyx, it's cold outside. And he will take out one of his daggers and then he will throw it at the thing. So, Toot Toot, a 7 plus a 4, that actually does hit because the Snow Golem only has an armor class of 8, which, okay. The 68 that I rolled earlier was his health, the Snow Golem's health. So, in this field is the Snow Golem, and then Onyx, Rock, and Toot Toot. So, oh, interesting. Okay. So, Toot Toot throws his one dagger at the snowman. But he doesn't know this. But, oh, well. Yep. So, you see, okay. Whew. And then Toot Toot throws the dagger, and then it gets, it contacts, but it gets eaten by the, like, torso snow mound. And Toot Toot, and the thing is still coming at him. I don't think that actually worked. So, uh-oh. And then he used his bonus action to do Bardic Inspiration instead of 2-weapon fighting. So, next is Onyx. And then Onyx, all right. And then he takes out his ice anchor. And then he will go, this is going to be fun. I haven't done this in a while. And then you see like veins bulge in his forehead. And then he rages. And he will... he will just like charge to the snowman, and then he will roll. Onyx was red, right? He will roll. Before his attack, he will use Reckless Attack. So that means on the first attack, he will get advantage on melee attack rolls using Strength. So he will have advantage this time. But since he has advantage, then that means the snowman will have advantage. But he hasn't beaten the crap out of anything in a while. So that is an 18, which is very good. Let's see if he gets a natural 20. That is a 19, even better. So a 19 plus 6 with the ice anchor, that's a 25. That definitely hits. So if raging, add +2 rage damage. Only strength weapons. I never remember that. Oh! Wow! Y'all! Good. This is why you write yourself notes, because at a level 4 barbarian, great thing I rolled advantage, because that 19 actually crits. So, as you can see there, 19 and 20 crit for Onyx the Dwarf Barbarian, who I don't think has gotten a 19 yet. So he actually crits, which is amazing. So his ice anchor, again, that's 2d6 plus 2 for the actual anchor. That's 1d4 ice for the ice part of it, plus 4 altogether because of strength. And now add +2 rage damage on top of that and double all of the dice. So lots of things. That's great. That's why you write yourself notes, y'all. That's wonderful. So, 2d6. That is a 3. And then a 2. So that's 5 for that first d6. So that's actually 10. Plus 2. That's 12. Plus a 1d4 ice damage. So that's a 2 times 2. So that'll be 4 ice damage, and then plus 4 on top of that, so that's 16 plus that 4 ice damage, and then add plus 2 on top of that for the rage damage. So Onyx, like, really, he is not within the city limits, so he felt like he's been holding back. But now in an open field against something that he is like, this doesn't have any blood or bones, so fuck it. And then with that ice anchor from its like clasps on his back, he and then rages, and then he crits, he like tears the fluke through the middle cavity, and then let's see if actually the dagger comes out. If it's even, then yes. If it's odd, no. 12 even, yes. So as he digs it out, then you can hear the ka-ting of Toot Toot's dagger being dug out of the snowman's midriff, and then 18 damage altogether from the stuff. And he tears through, but then the ice anchor, actually, as it goes through, then the last little bit, you can see the frost hanging in the air as it, and very dry ice, like the fog drifting off of it. And as Onyx finished cleaving the midsection of the snowman, then you can see the fog that was floating in the air and the little snowflakes and ice crystals form and reform into the midriff of this snowman, this like 3-balled snowman, but the middle one, you can see it starting to actually regather some innards. And he goes, huh? So that is Onyx's turn. Let's see, he used his bonus action to rage. So the bardic inspiration is adding a d6, so he couldn't do something else if he wanted. Bonus action rage, yep. Cool. Oh my god, y'all, this is why you read your notes. This is absolutely amazing. So, with a crit with the ice anchor, which I did with that 19 and 19-20 crits for Onyx the Dwarf Barbarian, enemy has to roll a Constitution saving throw or they'll freeze. Great. That is a natural 1 plus 2. Well, it's a natural 1 for the Constitution. Plus 2 for the Snow Golem. Okay. Here's what happens. So Onyx does a very good, and he like feels his veins like pulse in his arms, like, and then he looks back, and then not only does the fog and the snowflakes reform this slight webbing around where he just hit, but the snowman actually, and then because the snow golem has damage immunities to cold, and condition immunities can't be paralyzed. So, I will say, actually, for freezing, he regains even more hit points, which stinks, but that's awesome. So I will roll a d6 and a d4, a 1 and a 4. So he gets back 5 damage. Oh my gosh. So Onyx looks down at his ice anchor, almost betrayed, and he looks up. What? Guys. And then now it's Rock's turn going, oh, that's not good. That's very not good. So let's see. What of my rays? I will use my new Witch Bolt. And so he casts Witch Bolt. He will cast Witch Bolt at first level. And Witch Bolt does... What does Witch Bolt do? I don't know. No, I do know. It's a concentration, so he has to concentrate. One action, 30 feet concentration for 1 minute. He takes out a twig struck by lightning, and it's a sustained arc. So, he will make a ranged spell attack. Plus, oh boy, that's not great. So a 2 plus a 6, plus 6 spell attack bonus, which is actually legitimately the snow golem's armor class. 8 is the armor class. So if it hits, 1d12 lightning damage, and on each turn use an action to deal 1d6, 12 automatically. So that and a d12, which I never rolled before. 4. So 4. Yeah, okay, good. That's fine. I just wanted to check if anything. So, Rock takes out this twig that was struck by lightning, which actually Tipsy gave him. So it has this little crusted over saliva on it from a panther. It had panther spit on it. So he extends it out, and it looks like a small branch that has like 3 little prongs off of it, which mirrors the snow golem's, snowman branch arms. So he points and goes, and then this black, lightning arcs off of it and is hitting into sustained arc. So like it's floating in midair, very Expelliarmus meets Avada Kedavra, like this frozen. Like this sustained lightning bolt is just digging into the snowman, but with this perpetual cold grin on his face. And now it is the snow golem's turn. And then the snow golem goes, and we'll have some fun. And then comes up to, let's say, Onyx, because Onyx never ever gets hit. So Onyx will sustain the snowman's 3 melee attacks, which is a slam. Oh, yeah, okay, great. So 3 melee attacks, so that'll be 3 slams. He goes up, and with his chest, he'll do like a chest bump, and then 2 swipes with his branch claws. So plus 4 to hit. Yeah, he'll crunch up the snow behind him, or in front of him, to go up right to Onyx, and he will roll to attack. What is Onyx's armor class? Is 14, 12 plus 4, that's 16. That does hit. First one hits. Second one, 16. Yep, that super hits. Oh. Okay. Well, I was going to say, no, this is still fine. Yeah. Because does he get any? No, I think he's. And then 8. 8 plus 4, that does not hit. But these all are reckless attacks. So the first one, 14 and a 16, that is considered their first one because he does. Yes. Yeah. So that one hits. And then that 8 plus natural 20. Shit. Great. Awesome. So that second one hits. So the first one hits, the second one was a crit. And then the third one, 3 with advantage. 7 plus 4, that does not hit Onyx's armor class. So the first 2 hit, the second one's a crit. Yikes. So it is 1d6 plus 2 bludgeoning damage plus 2d6 cold damage. Oh, is Onyx affected at all by cold? I don't think so. But oh, wow. Cool. Awesome. I've listened to many D&D shows and podcasts, and all of the shows that I listen to have a lot of stuff already covered, and I don't necessarily want to retread ground, so I pick new stuff that I haven't heard of before. So Onyx is what specifically? He is a Path of the Totem Warrior barbarian. He has Primal Path, and then his totem spirit is Bear. So in Rage, he has resistance to all but psychic damage, which is different from all the other barbarians I ever listened to because they only have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So he will have resistance to all of this damage, bludgeoning and cold. But I want to see if also Onyx has resistance to cold naturally because he does have polar bear blood pumping through him. But let me roll my dice. So this first hit is just a normal die. That's a 6 plus 2. So that's 8. And then 2d6. Oh, shit. I didn't even read it. So that was a 6. And then the second one is a 1. So 7 cold damage. So that's the first hit. So that's 8 bludgeoning damage and 7 cold damage for the first hit. So that's 15 altogether. Reduced by half because he has resistance to all of that. So he takes half damage, but it's an odd number, so it's reduced. So 7 damage total for that first hit. Let me dry erase that down real quick. Onyx, 4, 7. So his 43 health is reduced down to 36. He's fine. And that's really the first time Onyx ever gotten hit. So we'll do that all again, but this time it's a crit. So I will take all the dice and then double it and then reduce it. Yeah, it's fine. So a 6. Boy. 6 plus 2, that's another 8. Oh, no. 6, so that's 12 plus 2. So that's 14. And then plus 2d6 cold damage. So that's a 5 and a 1. So 6. So another 12 cold damage. So 14 and 12. That's 26. So 13 altogether because that's halved. So 7. So he got 13. So 20 damage from that. So that 36 health gets reduced to 16. Ooh. Yeah. That was huge against Onyx. So his 43 got reduced to 16. And the snowman goes through and then he like chest bumps and then Onyx followed through on his swing. So he's kind of like, his back is exposed, like his back shoulder meat is exposed to the snowman, and the snowman kind of snows up against Onyx, and then he slashes. Oh, very good narrative. So he slashes one of the branches across the back of Onyx's neck because the dreads also like kind of furled across. So that's bear neck. Polar bear neck. The branch cuts deep, and then Onyx. It's one of those from anime. And then the second one, he swipes with one, but then the other one, he's just in a poor position. So the third strike misses. And then you can see, for the first time, Onyx's breath in the air because of all his cold stuff. He doesn't like. In Waterdeep proper, you've never really seen his breath. So that's real bad. And so Toot. Does Onyx have to roll for anything? No, he still has Bardic Inspiration. So let me just draw a thing to remind myself. So Toot's next, and Toot goes, "Oh, fuck!" Gust, light, mending, vicious mockery, charm person, cure wounds, disguise, dismiss. He doesn't really have any great melee spells, so let's see what hit'ems Toot has. Oh, boy, he doesn't have any. Oh. Okay. So because it's coming up to... Yeah, I'll say that. That's fine. Toot will use a reaction because, again, I have all these notes and it's hard to keep track. But he will use cunning words, so he'll go, "Oh, Mr. Snowman, please do not kill me." And to the attack roll, ability check, and damage roll, I will say to, well, he already hit with a crit. So I will say, so I can use a reaction to spend a Bardic Inspiration die, subtracting a die from the roll. So if I roll his d6, then I could subtract that from the damage that he could get, but Onyx will only take half of that damage, and I already did the crit number, so I don't... Yeah, I want to do this anyways, cunning voids. So he'll go, yeah. Oh, Mr. Snowman, please don't kill me. So three from all of this, 20, so that is a 17, 16... Wait. So he ended up taking 20 damage. No, it was 26, then 3 off of that. So that doesn't really do a whole lot. So that's 23 damage, and then divide that by 2. So, wait, what? Oh, no. Yeah. 23 minus 3 that he just rolled. That's, no, 26 minus 3. Then divide that by 2, so 11. So instead of 20 damage, then the snowman only did 18 damage. So it didn't do a whole lot, but that's something. That's 2 hit points. So so that was Toot Toot's reaction. Then he will come up, and then he will swing with his quarterstaff. Oh, he needs to learn not to just go in and swing. Do weapon fighting. Light melee weapon. Oh my gosh, it's 9:21. Yeah, he'll come up, and with one hand he'll grab his quarterstaff / Anderson's didgeridoo, which he never uses really. He pulls it out from his inventory and then swipes. So that is 16 plus 4, so 20. That certainly hits, and that's 1d6 plus 2 bludgeoning. But he doesn't know this, but damage immunities, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. So he swings, and then you can kind of see, following the path of Onyx's swipe, he goes through, and then the snow kind of crunches around, just kind of symbiote maneuvers out of the way of the strike. And so even though he hit, then the 1d6, the 1 plus 2 bludgeoning, the snowman does not get affected by that and goes through. And then 2/2 goes, oh, that's probably not good at all, huh? And then with his bonus action, he will go this is more like Jingle Hell's Jingle Hell. And then that's a bardic inspiration for Rock, because why not? And then Rock, hearing... No, it's Onyx's turn now. And Onyx goes, I'm going to try it again. So he will... That's a natural 1. And I didn't say he did a reckless attack before I rolled it, even though I meant to. It's a natural 1. No. And so just kind of disoriented then. Onyx kind of is blinking and steps even more into the follow through of the swing, and then completely whiffs it. And then Rock, can Onyx do anything else? Okay. Oh golly, Onyx wouldn't know this, but with... Oh, is that an action, though? This is all fascinating. An action, yeah. He can't do it because he hit, so never mind. I won't do that. Fascinating. So Onyx, and then goes down, blinking and twinging in pain, and then Rock, with his sustained Witch Bolt, will just pump another charge. Oh, that's amazing. And then, yeah, he will use his action to deal 1d12 automatically. Cool. So another 1d12. Hopefully it's good. I saw the 12 and then it spun to an 8. So that's pretty good, though. So with another a giant pulse of this black lightning emitting from this twig, then oh wow, then Rock, yeah, pumps another witch bolt, and then you hear now before I melt away, and then that's really bad, and then it's the snow golem's turn. And that's where we're going to pick up next week for episode 20. In the middle of the action. Snow golem's turn. Wow. That was fun. Oh boy, the dramatic irony of what my boys know and what they don't. So, amazing. I love it. Let me scroll down to my outro. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Rivera, and this was D&Me, a one-man show where I play D&D with myself. I stream Wednesday nights on Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I upload the video the following morning Thursdays on my YouTube page. Today's show will be up tomorrow, Thursday, December 16th, and next week's episode will be live Wednesday, December 22nd. I wrote 22nd with the TH instead of the ND. 22nd. So that's Christmas time, y'all. I will be in North Carolina, probably. And then you'll see my North Carolina background. So you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and in podcast form, and a bunch of other stuff. Where? Here on my link tree. That's linktr.ee/DnMeAdventures, and like gnome. And I roll to see which of my characters gives tonight's outro. Last episode, for episode 19, that was... Nope. For episode 18, that was Waddles, and so now it's either Tipsy or Toot Toot. So Tipsy even, and then Toot Toot odd. Let's roll one of these small dice again, and that is an 18 even. Tipsy. Ah, boy, this book's super boring. I bet the other boys are having such a boring time too. Oh, well. Good night.